What's up, nerds and nerdettes and we little nerdlings all? I'm back outside again. It's your buddy Big Johnny G from Two Gun Pixie presents Legendary Gaming. And Legendary Gaming is gaming for everybody. So everybody's game should be legendary. So for today's Tabletop Takeout Tuesday, I'm back outside again. And I shouldn't be. I picked the wrong day to come outside. Man, oh man, Shevitz, it is freaking hot out here. But I'm here anyway, and I'm doing this, and I'm going to have a little bit of fun doing this because I'm talking about a game that I really like. That's what Tabletop Takeout's all about. It's not necessarily a review or a preview. It's definitely not an unboxing. It's not a first impressions. What it is just me telling you about a game I already love. I'm telling you this like I'm trying to explain it to you that you don't know this game and I want you to play this game. I want to get it to the table. That's the idea here behind Tabletop Takeout Tuesday. So, all right, I'm all ready. I want to talk about a game that caught me by surprise last year. I ended up kickstarting it. And the reason I say it caught me by surprise is because it's a genre that I'm pretty much feel like I'm done with. It's a theme of gaming that I really thought I was done with, and that is Lovecraftian games. Cthulhu-based games that have to deal with the elder beings of the H.P. Lovecraft mythology. And the reason I'm over it is because I'm a fan of Lovecraft, and none of the games really feel like Lovecraft. Some of them come close. Some of them sort of feel like it, give you the illusion that they feel like it. But when you take it apart and you look at the pieces under the microscope, it's definitely not Cthulhu. And the reason I say that is because most Cthulhu games, most Cthulhu stories, most of the mythos stories, they end horribly. Horribly. Even when the incident is saved, the investigator, the person that was involved in this, is shattered. Just nothing really left of them. And the way a lot of these games deal with having to fight these elder things like they're orcs or something is beyond me. Yeah, they bring in a little bit of that, you know, you lose sanity when you first see the monster kind of thing, and sanity is a form of health in these games, but it doesn't really make it feel like it has the feel. Now, I found this game because it's by a company that I do love, Greater Than Games. Actually, it's one of their imprints, Fabled Nexus games. And they were kickstarting a Cthulhu game that caught my attention because you're not playing an investigator. You're playing the actual cultists. You are the one that is trying to bring this ancient elder being of antediluvian status back into the world, and you choose which one. You are the head of a cult. That is the first reason why I like this game, because it takes the mirror opposite side of almost every single Cthulhian Lovecraftian game. You are the bad guy in this. Well, in your mind, you're not the bad guy, or you're too crazy to care. Actually, you're probably just too crazy to care. But the way this game is set up is also very interesting with this round board, or roundish board. It's kind of round, kind of pentacle, kind of combination going on there, which thematically is perfect. It really brings you into the game. It helps drag you into it just by what you're looking at. But it's also very interesting because you're going to be moving this fate piece, which is a Cthulhu statue. You're going to move this fate piece around the board, and that's representing where you are putting your cultists, where your cultists are trying to gain a foothold. Because the game is a combination of area control and worker placement, as well as hand management, because you're managing the spells in your hand. Now, this is another really interesting thing. The way the spells work is you have to get the right spell cards. But to move onto these other places, you're dropping cards. So while you're going along the game, when you're going around the board, you're seeding as well as harvesting, so to speak. I've never put a game in that terms before, but that's exactly what's happening. While you were harvesting, you were also seeding at the same time. Now, the first time we did this, we played this wrong, and we just kept placing cards and cards and cards and cards. And we were after a second or third, no, maybe a third or fourth turn, we were like, someone want to check the rules on this? This is looking a little ridiculous. And we found out what we were doing wrong. And the way that you do it right with the whole seeding and harvesting, placing and taking the back and forth is a really interesting system. in not just how you're gaining the cards into your hand, but as well as how you're using the cards and how you're casting the spells, is probably different than any other game I've really played where they have spell casting abilities in it. It's quite unique, and that definitely caught my attention enough that I held onto it after I realized, okay, you're not the investigator, you're the cultist, so that's cool. Oh wait, this mechanic works like this? These spells work like that? This has just notched it up again, and it continued to do so. The game has a single player mode, which is okay. I really think this game works best with multiple players. If you get up there with 3 players, I think this game works both very well and is kind of streamlined a little bit faster than if you're having more players involved. Another nice thing, since you are the bad guy and you are the cultist, something that got my attention. I don't know if it's something that'll get your attention or not, but it got mine. And I know for a fact when I get this game to the table for Anthony, he's going to love this fact too, is that technically you're sacrificing your own cultists. You're laying sacrifice down in order to help bring about the end times when your elder being will rise and enter into the world and subjugate everything and eat you. Yeah, he's probably going to eat you. But you don't care. Because you're bat crazy. You're bat poop crazy, all right? So, I mean, this is a really fun game, and I don't think this game has gotten quite enough press as it deserves. It's something that you can get to the table fast enough. The setup time's not very involved at all. I mean, it's not as quick as, just a regular card game can be. You are setting up some pieces, getting out the minis, but compared to some really big epic games, especially a lot of the other Cthulhian and Lovecraft-based games, this setup time is a breeze. Man, it's such a breeze. And that helps you want to play the game even more. Because when it takes you forever to set up a game, the last thing you really want to do is set it up as a last-minute thing, no matter how much you love the game. Sometimes that can bother you. You don't got to worry about that with this game. So you're playing bad guys instead of good guys. You're trying to summon the monster. You're sacrificing your own cultist. It has a really unique movement, card placement, card taking system, which is tied into the spell system, which is all very interesting and unique. And I think overall, this game brings out the competitiveness that a good competitive game is supposed to, without making it one of those games that's going to end friendships. So it falls right in the middle there very comfortably, and that's yet another reason why I enjoy this game. So if you like Lovecraft, if you're a fan of Lovecraft, and like me, you've kind of thought most of the other games have fallen flat on what a Lovecraft story is, what it should be, then this is the game you need to take a look at, because it is different than so many others, primarily because you're playing the cultists, not the investigators, but the other small things add into it. It really brings it to life. It makes it feel a bit more like a Cthulhu game, something based on Lovecraft or one of his contemporaries like Robert E. Howard that wrote the weird stories also in the Mythos. What's now called, it wasn't called the Mythos back then. But anyway, I digress. This game, like I said, will definitely be for you then. If you thought most Mythos games have fallen flat on what they're supposed to be, this one you're going to want to take a look at. If you're a fan of horror games in general, this is a good game to add to your collection. It's not going to be taking the place of anything else, because the system that it uses, the rules and game mechanics are unique enough that you're not going to be sitting there with it on your shelf thinking to yourself, oh, isn't this the same as blah, blah, blah. I don't say blah, blah, blah. Isn't this the same as blah, blah, blah? And sometimes, a lot of cases, it is, and you're sitting there wondering, do I really need both of these games? This game, you're not going to get that sensation from this. You're not going to get that feeling. This game is unique enough, even in its own overpopulated theme and genre. It is unique enough. So, my friends, that's what I wanted to tell you about. I wanted to give you the lowdown, the skinny, so to speak, on Fate of the Elder Gods by Fabled Nexus Games and Greater Than Games. So thank you, everyone. Thank you for checking us out on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. And of course, as always, you all know, thank you so much for subscribing to us here on YouTube, for liking our videos, for sharing our videos on your other social media sites. Is amazing. Every time I happen to see someone dropped one of our videos on their sites, it's like blows my mind. So thank you so much for making this feel worthwhile, because I love doing this. The 20-Sided Warriors love doing this, and it's all because of you. Thank you so much. I'm your buddy Big Johnny G for Two Gun Pixie presents Legendary Gaming, and my friends, I am out of here.